Good morning, my dear student friends. Namaste. Today, I would like to deal one lesson, that is telephone conversation. As you know, our syllabus consisting of two. One is text and second one is non-detailed text. In the text, we have 5 lessons. Out of 5, I completed 3. And in the non-detail, we have 5 lessons. Out of 5, I completed 2 lessons. 3 are still left. So today I'm going to teach you one lesson, and the title of that lesson is telephone conversation. Now, telephone conversation is a poem. It was written by a Nigerian called as Wole Soyinka. He wrote this poem in the year 1963 about racism in American society. The writer was actually born in Nigeria. Later he switched over to America, and there in America he saw a lot of racism in the society, and he want to tell the world how the racism affected blacks in America. So this poem is about racism. Before you understand this poem, you should analyze the poem step by step. I'm going to teach this lesson in 3 manners, in 3 ways. First, I would like to give you the introduction, an introduction also consisting of the background of writing this poem. And the second one is reading the poem, and reading the poem and analyzing the poems line by line. And the third one is criticism, means what the critics told about this poem. So in these 3 manners, I'm going to present this lesson to you, and after listening my lecture, don't forget to give the feedback. Your feedback is very, very important. And once again, I'm telling you, ours is the only one college which wants to complete the syllabus in advance before you come back to college. So that's very, very important. Your feedback helps us a lot to improve our teaching methodology, because this is one of the innovative methods of teaching we want to improve, and don't forget to give feedback. I already gave the phone number of our CEO sir. So let's go to the lesson. This poem was written by Wole Soyinka, who was born in Nigeria, later switched over to America. He wrote this poem in the year 1963. He saw a lot of racial discrimination in the American society. To criticize racial discrimination in that society, he wrote this poem. Now, the analysis. What is the title of the poem? As already told you, the title of the poem is Telephone Conversation. You know what is the meaning of the word telephone? Telephone is an electronic device which is used to communicate. That is about the first word called as telephone. The second one is conversation. Okay, what is meant by conversation? Conversation is nothing but communication. I have information, I want to pass that information to you, and if you have the information, you can pass that information to me, and that is called as conversation. There is a lot of differences there between the word talk and conversation. Talk is a verb which means discuss. I talked about nature. Second, conversation means talking, the result of talking with the result, or the result of talking is called as conversation. So telephone conversation means 2 people are going to exchange their ideas by using an electronic device that is called as telephone. That's the title of the poem, Telephone Conversation. By just reading the title, you understood that there are 2 people, and the 2 people are exchanging their views by using an electronic device, and that is about the total summary of the poem, Telephone Conversation. Now, that's about the explanation of the title. Let's go back to the second one. In the introduction, the second part of the introduction is the background of the poem. Why did the writer wrote this poem? What made him to write this poem? As I already told you, he was born in Nigeria, shifted over to America. In American society, he saw a lot of racial discrimination, racism, and he was not satisfied with that society. In order to criticize that society, he wrote a poem, and the title of the poem is Telephone Conversation. In other words, Telephone Conversation is a poem against racism in American society. That's about the background of the poem. Let me give you one example. Let us take the example of Indian society. We have Chaturvarnas, means like Brahmins, Kshatriyas, Vaishyas, and Sudras, like that. Each class, the Brahmins, again the set is divided into classes, and again subdivided into caste. Caste is again subdivided into subcaste, like that. Each caste is having its own boundaries. Even in the 21st century, we don't allow people to cross over those boundaries. Intermarriages or interreligious marriages, intercaste marriages are treated as sin, are not accepted by the Indian society. Just like Indian society, which is divided based on casteism, just like that, the American society is also divided not based on the casteism, but based on the skin color. There are two skin colored people out there in America. One is blacks and the second one is whites. Whites are the dominating race in American society. They have education, they have wealth, and they have industries, and most of the whites are in a bureaucratic positions, in a dominating positions in the society. And what about the blacks? The blacks are will do only the mean jobs, and they are not much educated, they don't have many opportunities. But the Constitution of America has given equality to both races, but it is only on the paper, but not in the society. So it is only on the macro level, not in the micro level. So the writer wants to tell that how racism affected blacks in American society through this poem, and he titled the poem as Telephone Conversation. And that's the background of writing this poem. In the introduction, I told you who wrote the poem and what is the background of writing this poem. Now, for your sake, I am going to read this poem loudly, and I am requesting all of you, you can use this cell phone, go to Google and Google and type there Telephone Conversation by Wole Soyinka. Yesterday I already sent the link, and type the poem, type the title of the poem so that you will get the poem. Look at the poem while I am reading the poem. For your sake, I am reading the poem loudly. The price seemed reasonable, location indifferent. The landlady swore she lived off premises. Nothing remained but self-confession. Madam, I warned I hate Western journey. I am an African. Silence. Silence the transmission of pressurized good breeding. Voice when it came. Lipstick coated, long rolled cigar pipe. Caught I was falling. How dark you are! I had not misheard. Are you light or very dark? Button B, button A. The stretch of rancid breath of public hide and speak, red booth, red pillar box, red double-tired omnibus squelching tar. It was real, ashamed by ill manners of silence, surrender, pushed the dumbfolded big simplification. Considering she was varying the emphasis, are you dark or are you very light? And a revelation came, you mean like a plain or a milk chocolate? Her accent was clinical, crushing in its light impersonality. Rapidly, wavelength adjusted, I chose West African sepia as afterthought down in my passport. Silence was spectroscopic, the flight of fancy, till the truthfulness clung her accent hard on the mouthpiece. What's that? Considering, don't you know what that is? Like a bonnet. That's dark, isn't it? Her altogether, not altogether. Facially, I'm brunette, but madam, you should see the rest of me. Palms on my hand, and the sole of my palms on my hand, and the sole of my feet are paradox blonde. The friction caused foolishly, madam, by sitting, has turned my bottom raven black. And one moment, madam, sensing her receiving a ring on the thunderclap about my ears, madam, please, wouldn't you rather see for yourself? So that's the entire poem, and hope you might have followed line by line. Now, I'm going to give you the explanation line by line. I'm going to explain 3 lines at a time. The first 3 lines. The price seemed reasonable, location indifferent. The landlady showed she lived off premises. So, one day, a black man saw an advertisement in the newspaper about a rented house. He decided to take that house for rent because of 2 reasons. Reason number 1, price seemed reasonable. The rent of the house is very, very reasonable. It's a damn cheap. That's the first advantage. The second advantage is the landlady sure she lived off premises. The landlady doesn't want to live in that house. So it is a owner-less rented house. That's the second advantage. But there is one problem. The location indifferent, but the problem is the house is located in the whites area. The house is located in the area where majority of the people are whites. In the beginning of the lesson, in the beginning of the poem, I already told you it's a conversation between 2 people. One is black and another one is white. So this is a house owned by a white woman. Surprisingly, in the advertisement, she didn't mention that she wanted to give the house only to the whites. Even in even if you see our classifications, some people used to write that a rented house only for vegetarians, like that. But the white woman didn't mention anything in the advertisement, so the black man decided to take that house for rent. That's about the summary of the first 3 lines. Nothing remained but self-confession. So, no problem at all. Okay, if I want to take that house, there is no problem at all. But self-confession, I have to tell to myself. And nothing I have to tell, whole self-confession means telling the truth. I have to tell the truth. So he telephoned to the white woman in order to tell the truth. You might have guessed that what that truth is. He wanted to tell that he is a black man. Now, madam, so he telephoned to the white woman and told like this, madam, I hate to waste your journey. I'm an African. Madam, I don't want to waste my journey. I don't want to waste my time and waste my money. Okay, I want to tell you one thing. I want to tell you a truth, and the truth is I'm an African. I'm a black man. And as there was silence. So when the black man told the white woman that he was a Negro, there was a long silence. See, when you are silent, what you do is you are going to think. So there is a long silence between these 2, and the white woman started thinking. As I already told you, whenever the whites get an opportunity, they will ill-treat, suppress, insult blacks. Now, silence, transmission, or pressurizing good breeding. So there was a long silence, and in that long silence, the white woman started thinking. Voice, when it came, finally, the white woman started speaking. So what did she say? The voice came from the lipstick coated. So her lips were heavily coated with lipstick. At the time she was smoking, her pipe was made with gold. And voice when it came, lipstick coated, long, gold rolled, cigar holded pipe. She spoke to him, her lips were coated with heavy lipstick, and at the time she was smoking, and she was smoking with gold pipe. And along and caught, I was falling. So finally the voice came from her mouth. The first question she asked the black man was, how dark? Tell me how dark you are. Tell me what's your skin color. Tell me how dark your skin color is. I had not misheard, so I thought that I wrongly heard what she said. But are you light or very dark? But the second question gave a confirmation that I didn't mishear. The second question is, are you light or very dark? Tell me, are you very light or totally dark from top to bottom? Dark button B and button A. So the black man didn't know what to do. Because of nervousness, because of tension, because of anxiety, the black man took his phone and he pressed two buttons. In the olden days, we have push button phones rather than smartphones like these. So he took the phone and he started pressing two buttons. He pressed two buttons. One is button B and button A. Here, the writer used a symbol. Symbol means telling a point, telling a thing in an indirect manner. Now, here, the black man pushed two buttons. One is button B and the second one is button A. Here, button B stands for black. Button A stands for African. So he pressed two buttons and one is button B and button A. And scratcher of rancid breath of public hide and speak red booth. He didn't know how to answer that question. So he was looking through the window. He saw so many objects. He saw a red color telephone booth. Red booth here means red color telephone booth. And red pillar box. Red pillar box means post box, which is painted with the red color. And a red double-tied omnibus scratching tar. He saw an omnibus, a public transport bus, which was painted with red in color. So the writer saw, the black African saw three things. One is a red telephone booth. Second, a red mailbox, post box. And the third one is red colored bus. So here the things are different, but the color is common. What's the color? That color is called red color. Now this is called as a color symbol. Means the writer wants to tell a point by using a color. For example, let me put it like this. The moment you saw a red light in the traffic signal, what do? You are going to stop. The moment you saw a green light, what you do is you would move. Okay, so red means stop, green means move. So that is called as a color symbol. Let me give you another example. And take this one. What is this one? It's a toothpaste. And what is that company? It's called as Colgate toothpaste. Now, see the word Colgate is written. Observe how the Colgate is written. Here, Colgate is written in white color and the background is red in color. Means the company wants to tell you, if you use this toothpaste, your teeth will be as white as this. Your gums will be as red as this. Okay? So the company wants to tell you these two things by using color symbols. Here also, the writer, the black man, looked through the window and he saw three objects, but all the three are painted with red color, red in color. Next. Surrender pushed dumbfounded to beg simplification, considering she was wearing the emphasis. So she emphasized, and she thought that I couldn't understand the question. And once again, she asked the question, how dark? Tell me how dark you are. And are you dark? Tell me, are you totally dark from top to bottom? Or very light? Are you very light in color? And revelation came, you mean like a plain or chocolate? The black man didn't answer that question. So she gave an option. Tell me how dark you are. Are you light or dark? The second option is, you mean like a plain or a milk chocolate? Tell me your skin color. Your skin color is just like a milk chocolate. She gave an option to select one of these two. And her accent clinical, and her accent was clinical, crushing in its light impersonality. Rapidly wavelength adjusted, I choose. So I came to know that she's not going to leave unless I tell my skin color. So I controlled myself and I gave an answer to her question. Rapidly wavelength adjusted, I choose West African sepia. Madam, my skin color is West African sepia. He is very clever. He didn't mention that his skin color is black. He used a technical term that is called as West African sepia. And as afterthought, down in my passport, madam, it is written in my passport. According to my passport, in the color section, it was written, my skin color is West African sepia. Silence of septoscripica frightened of fancy, till truthful clung her accent, her heart on the mouthpiece. So there was a long silence. As I already told you, you are silent when you are thinking. Whenever you think, you maintain silence. So the white woman was maintaining silence, and after that she asked him, what's that? You mentioned that your skin color is West African sepia, but I couldn't understand the word West African sepia, what that means. And I don't know what that means. The black man was a little bit angry. So he decided, enough is enough. He decided to teach her a lesson. The black man first time asked the white woman, don't you know the meaning of the word West African sepia? Okay, don't you know what that is? Don't you know the meaning of the word West African sepia? And like a burnet, madam, West African sepia means a small net called burnet. Burnet is a small net which is totally dark. And burnet, then immediately the white woman understood the skin color of this black man is like a burnet. Burnet means totally dark. She said, that's dark, isn't it? That means you are totally dark from top to bottom. And like a burn, that dark, isn't it? Not altogether. So the black man decided to teach her a lesson. He said, madam, not altogether. Madam, don't think I am totally dark from top to bottom. Not altogether, madam. Facially, I am burnet, madam, and you see the rest of me. As far as my face is concerned, I am just like a small net called burnet. Facially, madam, facially I am dark in color, but you should see the color of my rest of body, or the color of my body. And burnet and palms of my hand and sole of my feet are paradox blend. Madam, as far as my palm is concerned, my feet is concerned, they are light in yellow color. Next, and sitting and paradox block. Friction caused foolishly, madam. Madam, by sitting lot of time on the chair, because of the heavy friction, the friction caused foolishly, madam, by sitting down, has turned my bottom raven black. my bottom become totally black. Because I used to sit a lot of time because of the friction, my back became totally dark in color. Now, the white woman sensed that he's going to give analysis in all, his entire body. So she decided to cut the line because she doesn't know what he is going to tell next time. So my bottom ran back. One moment, madam. So she is want to cut the line. She want to keep the receiver on the telephone. And sensing that she is cutting the line, she is disconnecting the line. And the black man told the white woman, madam, don't cut the line. One moment, madam. Please, one moment, madam. Please stay in line. One moment, madam. Sensing her receiver ringing on the thunderclap about her ears, about my ears, madam, I pleaded, wouldn't you rather see for yourself? Madam, please don't cut the line. When the black man said like that, and she kept the receiver in the ear, and then the black man said, madam, I plead, madam, I request you, I beg you. Okay, wouldn't you rather see for yourself? Madam, why don't you see your back? Your back is also as black as my back. That's it.